so young. No wonder all we hear about is mental health, mental health, mental health.
It's true.
No wonder that's feeding it. There should be, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it. I personally feel like you have to be at least 13 to own a phone.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were up to me, it would be 16, just like driving.
It's true.
Maybe we'll get there one day. What has to happen, though, in the process? There will be a lost generation. Welcome to another episode of The Family Business with the Alessis. I am Mary Alessi, and today I'm not joined by my husband, Steve Alessi. I am joined by our youngest daughter, Gabrielle Alessi. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Today I am sporting the Alessi, the family business with the Alessis.
I didn't get the memo.
Well, we should have told you because I have on the hoodie, which I absolutely love. I would wear it every day if I could because it's not too hot, but it's really cut well.
It is.
And we're talking about that right off at the top because we have linked all of our merch that you can go and purchase right here on YouTube or wherever you're watching or listening. You can just click the link and go to it and buy it. And we encourage you to do that, get the word out. We've got some amazing t-shirts, hats.
Yeah.
We've even got the little onesies for your kids. And it's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of a mafia look to it, the family business.
It's very cool. And you said it, the actual material and the shape of it, the fit is amazing.
It is.
The one that I love, I don't think we have it on the table. It's like just like the sweater, the family business, and it's black letters with the gray sweater. That one looks awesome. And
I don't know if we have any more.
It's probably not because that is such a good sweater.
Go get it.
The fit is amazing. And all the girls that are watching this know that when you have a good hoodie or a good sweater that fits right,
you don't care what it says.
I don't care what's on it. I don't care how many times I wear. I will wear the same thing all the time.
I agree. So go get yourself some swag, some merch. These are some millennial terms. We never said that. We just said go get a sweatshirt and a t-shirt.
Update your drip.
Really? Mm-hmm. Raise your Rizz? No.
I mean, no. This could help your Rizz, but Rizz has nothing to do with your outfits.
Do people even know what Rizz is if you're...
Okay, give me your best definition of Rizz.
Cool.
Okay.
You're so Rizz. What is it short for?
So Rizz is short for charisma.
It is?
Yes, but it's turned into a new way of like talking about like you've got game. So like it's saying like, oh, he's got Rizz. Like he's going to go Rizz her up. Like he's going to go flirt with her and he can pick up any girl because he's got Rizz.
Well,
so it's like morphed into that.
Why do we have to change words? Why do we have to create?
Because everybody in this generation thinks they're the first ones to ever do it. Thinks they're the smartest ever. That's a whole nother podcast that just makes me mad. So
I know.
Let's go into the other topic that makes us mad.
I just want to say exactly because we are going to talk about something out of sheer anger.
Yes.
And we jumped in this podcast booth because we wanted to talk about this. You work with youth.
Yeah.
That's your career path. You work with from middle schoolers to high schoolers. And I raised 4 middle schoolers and high schoolers, and I raised 3 daughters.
Yep.
So this is a topic, this is a subject that we know a lot about.
Yep.
But I did not know about the TikTok trend that's going around. And shockingly, I told you about it.
You did.
I'm amazed. I'm very Rizz right now.
You're you Rizz me up.
I'm kidding. No.
So here's the thing. I'm not on Instagram. Well, I'm not on Instagram right now because I'm fasting it. But then also I don't have a TikTok. I refuse to get a TikTok.
No, I don't either.
I am a little scared of it. I'm afraid of like the tracking stuff. So I am a little conspiracy theorist when it comes to TikTok.
I don't think it's conspiracy theorist. I think we will not bow to that.
That's the thing. It's not even a conspiracy. No. It is proven that they track you and they use all of your data. So that's why I just don't like TikTok. But it is a massive platform for like information and trends and all that. So you were telling me how there is this new conversation about, and all these videos are posting about it, about 10-year-old girls going into Sephora.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, all the videos are calling out how ridiculous this is.
Yeah. Everybody's upset about it.
Everyone's upset. But yeah, I was just like scrolling through it, and there's so many different YouTubers that are making hour-long videos, exactly what we're doing right now, talking about how ridiculous this is. And they're talking about it for other reasons as like, why are people spending money and
acne
problems. And all, which is a huge thing. But I think there's a lot more to it. And we even said it. This conversation is not for 10-year-olds. This is for the parents of the 10-year-olds.
Yeah. This is for moms out there who might be struggling with this. I know the moms that are in my sphere, it's a lot to even get them to let their kids wear lipstick or mascara or anything at all, even at 13. Yeah. So I'm glad that I have a lot of women in my life that put the brakes on.
Yeah.
And the truth is, from an Innocence perspective, the later your daughter wears makeup, the better off she's going to be. Her skin, the pressure, keep her, what I call the ugly bubble, keep her in that for as long as she possibly can. Because here's the thing, boys can only put suits on, like a 12-year-old boy, no offense, I know there's some good-looking 12-year-old boys, but for the most part,
it's true.
You can dress up a middle schooler in a tuxedo and he still looks goofy.
Awkward.
He does not look good.
No.
But a girl, you can put a 10-year-old in a full face of makeup and hair and a sexy dress, and it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Because she can be beautiful so quickly.
It's true.
And women and moms need to understand, keep the brakes on that, delay that for as long as they can. But what's happening is when you have now a daughter who's 10, who has a friend at school who's 10, whose mom allows her to wear full face of makeup or go to Sephora. And here's why we're talking about this. Because when I heard about it through a podcast, I was just scrolling through Reels on Instagram and I heard it. I went, that's not true. There's no way. And these two women that were talking about it were so upset.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? I mean, in the day, today, where all we're hearing about on the regular is pedophilia and young girls becoming sex objects and just being thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
And this is even a thing. Well, it just so happened that I went to the mall like the next day with your sister Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, oh, Mom, I've got to walk into Sephora. I hate Sephora. Sorry, Sephora. It's too much makeup for me. It confuses me. I all that gets me confused.
People have overdone it.
It's like, plus,
makeup's been overdone.
Plus, it's very sexualized.
It is.
It's very, the gender roles have been confused because you see
true.
pictures of men in full face makeup, and I'm just not going to go in there and see that. I'm sorry.
No.
And I'm not going to buy your makeup. But I happened to walk in because she was looking for something, and I'd forgotten. And I look around, Gabby. There are 10, 11, 12-year-old girls all over that store in little gangs and with their mothers. And I honestly, instinctively, I wanted to say, get out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
There needs to be an age limit in this store.
Yes.
And it doesn't even, the acne part and retinol on young girls' skin, yes, that's bad, but there's more to it. There's something really dark about it.
Well, I think what's happening is you are playing into, we're finding parents that are letting kids go and have a social media at a young age. So it started like with TikTok, right? There would be TikTok dances. And their 11-year-old, 10-year-old would just do, even 8-year-old would just do a TikTok dance. And it was innocent and it was fun and it was cute. Okay, do a dance, whatever. Then you'd post that TikTok. And then what people don't realize, it's not just your kid is posting things, it's what your kid's looking at on TikTok. Right. So you think, oh, they're just making a cute video and posting it. That's just like 10% of the time that they're on that app.
Yeah.
What they're also doing is they're scrolling and finding other girls wear this and other girls do this and look at my skincare routine. My generation, even at my age, it's like everywhere you go, it's here's how you can get your skin right and here's the makeup that you need. And as a 24-year-old girl, it's very overwhelming where I'm like, finding your makeup and your skin routine is like an achievement now.
Yeah.
That was never a thing for you.
No, we went to.
And there's more acne problems today. Let's just talk about that.
Skin problems.
Skincare is now everything taking care of your skin. But mind you, there's more people with acne walking around today, including myself, than there ever was before.
Right.
So you can't say that there's not a connection there.
No, I had acne as a girl. And we wore cheap, junky. You would get it from Revlon, and it was disgusting makeup. But I knew then instinctively, don't wear makeup, my skin would clear up.
Exactly.
And I didn't wear makeup fully till I was like 16.
No, you don't do that. We didn't wear makeup until we were, I want to say, same age, 16 years old.
We were very strict about that.
But back to what I'm saying about the TikTok thing. You let your kids on there. They're scrolling. All of if you look, Mom, and I just did the research, all of the brands they love are TikTok famous brands.
Right.
So Drunk Elephant is being bought and everybody knows about it because it's on TikTok. And so all of those things like the Dior, I think it's like the Dior lip oil, it's huge on TikTok. So Glossier is huge on those things. So they're buying brands that are just famous and they're seeing them on Instagram and they think they need them because it's TikTok. So to me, I'm like, what's happening is it's not that these girls love makeup and they just want to wear makeup. No, they're following trends.
Right.
And if you as a parent go look at those trends, are they healthy? Are they helping your daughter's self-esteem? We're not talking about 5-year-old girls that got a cute little makeup set and at Christmas and they're doing
pretend.
No, this is not. It is your girls are going and buying bottles that are $20 for 2 ounces.
Yeah.
For oil on your skin or serums on your skin that are going to hurt your skin because they're following a trend. They don't need it. They have no dark circles. They don't have any blemishes. They don't have any wrinkles, nothing on their skin.
No.
But to me, it's more than just buying a product. It's you're letting your daughter follow a trend, and that trend leads to an identity problem,
yes,
confidence issues,
right,
low self-esteem, always trying to find and trying to fix things on her face, always looking for what she doesn't have and what she doesn't need. I just found a video of 2 older sisters. They were like probably 18, 19, that go into their 10-year-old sister's bathroom. She has more skincare and makeup products than I do right now.
Wow.
And they're like, they literally go, we're going to take you to our sister's skincare routine in her bathroom so you can see everything she has. Drunk Elephant products are so expensive.
Why is it called Drunk Elephant?
I don't know.
Come on.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, listen.
I did use it last night, but it doesn't make any. I got a gift.
Don't make us hypocrites on this.
Well,
No,
somebody
you are
gave me a gift.
20-something.
I am 24 years old. I need it for my skin. No, but it's the whole thing I feel like it is that we are playing into a culture of you're letting your 10-year-old daughter have too much access to the internet, too much access to people they don't know, and you're letting them follow those people instead of having your child follow your rules.
Well, and okay, so the trend used to be a 10-year-old would want whatever the latest toy that was out.
Yeah.
Is it a Tamagotchi?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tamagotchis, all
So
that.
like when y'all were 10, 11, we would take you to the toy store to follow the latest trends.
Yeah.
To Toys R Us, not Sephora.
Mm-mm.
So you're taking a 10-year-old now following a trend that is for teenagers and above rather than the toy store. Well, Toys R Us is gone. But what's happening is because of social media and the access to it, even if your daughter doesn't have it, her friend does.
Yeah.
And that influence is so overwhelming and powerful. And one thing Dad and I would do is if we saw around you an influence of someone in your sphere, your age group, that we saw you wanted something that you normally would not want, we would check out that friend, and 9 times out of 10, that friend was excited about having something that we said no to. Maybe it was a movie they could go to, or a pair of jeans they could wear, or shorts, or just places they could go that we said no to. And we didn't necessarily cut off that friend, but we would let you know. We would sit you down, or your sisters or whomever, at the different seasons of your life, and say, listen, that's not what we do in our house. No judgment to her. We're not going to make her feel bad about it. Her mom has said yes to that, but we are not saying yes. Now, if you push us and you don't listen to us, and her voice and her influence is more powerful than ours, then you can't be friends with her anymore. Yeah. And we were very clear about that. And we'd have no problem at that point going to the mom and saying, listen, for right now, it's probably best. There's just some things Gabby's not ready for. Yep. You raise your daughter the way you want to. I'm not going to get in your business because it doesn't work anyway. All you do is offend people. But for us, Gabby's not ready. 9 times out of 10, if I ever had to do that, that other mother would go, thank you. Well, I don't want my daughter to do this either. She's got a big sister, or she's got another girlfriend and it would empower that other mother to say, I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. You're not wearing it either. And
I think more parents need to be not so like nervous or insecure about the decisions they're making for their kids.
That's right.
Like I remember we had the friends in our lives, our friends, it was all boys. It was a family of all boys. And they made it a point. They told their boys, you cannot watch PG-13 movies, I think until they were like 16 or 18.
Yeah, yes.
And it was a rule to where as kids, we grew up together. We kind of like joke around with them like, oh, you can't watch this. But they stuck to their guns. And it was a rule in their family. You're not allowed to watch any movie that's rated PG-13 until you're a certain age. Yeah. And we respected it. And as friends, we knew that when we would go to their house, or if they would come to our house, we wouldn't watch those movies. We wouldn't try to pressure them. We wouldn't try to manipulate that.
We didn't try to convince their parents you're being silly. They're 13 now. No, and that was their rule.
One of the reasons why is because their parents were very strong and they were confident, and this is the decision that we're making for our children. And they weren't going to let anybody try to influence them to change their mind.
And they were raising 4 sons.
4 boys.
Yes. It was wisdom on their part.
And I think as parents, we have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are now in parenting, and their daughter, before they knew it, is 5 years old, and they're having conversations with her. And the one thing we tell them is stick to your guns.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your friends say. It doesn't matter what other people, maybe if it's your family or if it's somebody, a neighbor, whatever it is, stick to your guns because your kids are watching you and your kids are seeing how confident you are in the decisions that you're making and how insecure you are in the decisions you're making. So be confident. If your kid can't watch those movies, don't let them watch them. Turn it off and tell everybody around. Be confident that your daughter will not be at Sephora buying all of these things and wearing all of this makeup because you as a mom, you as a dad, you know the result of that.
Yes.
You know.
And I think it's so important to, if you are a mom of an 8 or 9 year old little girl right now, and this is something that's starting, you're getting wind of the makeup thing. Playing in the room, putting makeup on is one thing. There's some fun to that. There's some innocence. We don't wear it out of this house. That's not something that we're going to normalize. It's just play. We're playing dress up.
Yeah.
You girls did that. And it was so funny. And now we look back at some of those videos of you with like burgundy mess, eyeshadow and horrible lipstick. And it was just so hilarious to watch that. But you knew it was just play and you wanted to get it off as quick as you could. It wasn't something that you wanted to wear out. What I'm concerned about is literal, I think it's dysphoria, where you have women and mothers who have dysmorphia. That's the word.
Body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia. And these young girls, because of all the filters and all the having access to the phones and seeing all these other girls on the phone that have filters on, but they don't know their filters.
Yeah.
They don't look like that.
Yeah.
It is stirring something in them way too soon that they're not emotionally or even mentally, their brains aren't formed yet to be able to handle that. And I think it really opens a Pandora's box for something a lot darker and a lot more difficult. And if you haven't raised a 15-year-old yet, here's what you need to know. 15 is coming. So at 10, you can have this sweet little girl that is just perfect and obeys. And it does not take much.
It's true. It happens one day to the next
to stir something in her. If you as a parent don't have a clear order and vision for your daughter. And I say it this way, let her know.
Yeah.
One of the things that we would talk about with you 3 girls is when that day will come. When will dating come?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to put a date on it. When you show that you are responsible and you meet somebody that is a good young man that is responsible, I don't know. I will know when I meet that person.
Exactly.
If you're capable of dating them. We're not just dating at 13.
Yeah.
We don't date.
No.
That's not what this is about. I would say the same thing about makeup. I would put when you're 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And I read this from a mom. I thought this was brilliant. And we will take you to the dermatologist. And it will be a doctor's prescription.
Yes.
What makeup do you recommend for my daughter?
Yes.
Because she could be allergic. There could be all kinds of problems. There's so many ways around this.
Yes.
That if moms would just be strong and be bold with their daughters and say no, but give them that timeline of when they'll be ready. Look, we can't get away from it.
No.
All of us who wore makeup for years, what will we tell you? We wish we'd started later.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's such a pain.
It's such a pain. And before you know it, you cannot. I think I told you this the other day, a couple weeks ago. Grandma was in town, your mom, and I came downstairs and I was going to go out that night, and it was like I was going to go watch a football game somewhere, and it was like around 7:00 a Sunday night. I'd been wearing makeup all day, and I came downstairs and I had no makeup on, and I said, "Hey, you think I don't need to wear makeup?" I said something about like, "Hey, you think I'm good without makeup?" And I was having a good skin day. I was feeling good about myself, like finally. And you said something like, "You're going to go like that?" And I was like, well, I've been wearing makeup all day. I just wear it every day. And Grandma went, I am 82 years old and I still have to wear makeup every day. That's what women do. And she like jumped on me like, go upstairs and put some makeup on. And I was like, dang it. And you do. What you don't realize is you reach an age where it's part of presenting yourself. You have to wear it. You have to make sure that you are presenting yourself in the best way possible. You should make sure, as a young woman, as a woman, you should be wearing makeup. It's a good representation of you. But if you start too early, it can mess with your psyche. It can mess with your ego, how you see yourself.
Yeah.
And you brought it up, body dysmorphia. This is the actual definition of it. Body dysmorphia disorder or body dysmorphia is a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about their flaws in their appearance. These flaws are often unnoticeable to others. People of any age can have body dysmorphia, but it's most common in teenagers and young adults. It affects both men and women. So if this is most common, meaning most people are going to go through it, then as a parent, I think you have to do your part to at least delay that mental battle that they're going to have. Delay it as much as you can. And I would say, Mom, this starts in all the moms.
Yes, it does.
This is something that, I'm going to throw this in here and maybe we're going to rattle some moms. But if the mom doesn't have a strong confidence in herself.
Yes.
And knows she doesn't have a strong self-esteem and knows that I can wear makeup or I don't need to wear makeup. I can get fillers. I don't need fillers. I can have my nails done. I don't need them. If the mom is so dependent on my makeup's got to be perfect, my hair's got to be perfect, I got to make sure I'm getting the latest Botox. If she is so dependent on that and only talks about that, then your daughter's going to be rushing to Sephora.
Right.
Because they're going to be thinking through, if my mom needs it, then I need it.
Right.
I remember growing up, the only times you did your makeup was in the car.
Yeah.
And it showed me that was the last thing you cared about.
I hated it.
You need to make
I
sure.
did my makeup all the way today in the car.
Did your makeup right now in the car.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, it was, you didn't really wear a lot of makeup when you were at the house. You didn't care how you looked. Dad loved how you looked without makeup. He always made it a point to compliment you in front of us. But whenever we wanted to wear makeup, you were like, y'all don't need it. You weren't so obsessed or hyper-focused on girls. No. You need to wear makeup or I wear makeup and I have my nail. You liked having those things, but that wasn't a priority to you.
No.
And I would say for all the moms out there, if you're noticing your daughter's like, oh, but I need to have this and I need to want to go, look at yourself. And maybe I'm not in the place to say this, Mom, so you can back me up if this is right or wrong. But
say it and I'll tell you.
Yeah. I would examine and sit back and say, okay, how am I talking about my own appearance?
Right.
How am I talking about what I look like and my hair and my skin and my nails and my makeup?
Absolutely.
Because if the mom is hyper-focused on it,
that 100%.
The girls are going to be hyper-focused.
100%. Where else is she learning that but from her mother?
Yes.
She's not getting that from anyone else. The mother is the greatest influence on that young girl's life in her self-image.
Yeah.
100%. So we've got a lot of single moms out there, and it's very easy to struggle with your self-image when you're single.
It's true.
Very difficult. That you talk about an uphill battle, and you go back and forth between I'm still a young mom and I have no one in my life. Would that complete me? And I've got these kids that need me. You have to sift through a lot of junk.
It's true.
Emotionally. That takes a lot of mental stamina to get through that if you don't make a decision in being confident in who you are and where you are. And right now, the most important thing are raising those kids.
Yeah.
And that's the decisive mindset you have to have. My marriage didn't work. That's a fact. But I can't stay in this place of feeling insecure, paranoid, because my daughter is watching me.
Yes.
So is my son, but it's very different. I go back to body dysmorphia because when I was a teenager, teenagers were so different. Middle schoolers were so different.
Yeah.
We were still outside goofing around. I remember even when y'all were teenagers, when Chris would come home at 15, I mean, I would make him take 2 showers.
Yeah.
You know, because he was outside all the time, running around and just like, you're gross, go clean up. And you girls followed your older brother. You know, we weren't dealing with the pressures of social media and the perfection pursuit. You girls, I would have to say, go wash your hair.
It's true.
And there's something about that now that I slightly miss, because you see in the culture so many pressures on our next generation to look like something and to sound like something and to come across, and they're losing the innocence of their youth. And I'm not talking about just from a sexual perspective.
No.
I'm talking about being a teenager and a middle schooler, and if you're a little chubby, it's okay. And if you
There's not a care in the world.
There's not a care in the world. And what they're doing with these trends is placing in the hearts of these 10-year-olds who aren't ready for it cares.
Yeah.
And desires and needs, and that just leads to insecurity so young. No wonder all we hear about is mental health.
It's true.
No wonder that's feeding it. There should be, in my opinion, and I'm just going to say it, I personally feel like you have to be at least 13 to own a phone.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were up to me, it would be 16, just like driving.
It's true.
Maybe we'll get there one day. What has to happen, though, in the process? There will be a lost generation. We'll look back and say, we lost that whole generation.
Yeah.
There's so much mental health crisis issues. We're there. Yeah. We are there.
Well, and then you're also going to see a lot of self-absorbed people in this next generation.
Oh.
Because everything's going to be, how do I look? How am I seen?
We see it.
You already notice it with young people today.
100%. We're seeing that play out. It's like the handicapping of a generation.
Yeah.
And it sounds good to be on your phone. I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, I really worked at, I'm not looking at my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I put my ringer on and I said, if anybody needs me, they can call me.
Yeah.
I'm not answering my texts. I turned all my notifications off. So nothing came to my home screen. Mm-hmm. Nothing. I noticed by doing that, my screen time was literally like 2 hours a day, which is low.
It's very low.
When you check emails on it, and I would, my family, as much as we all text and work and all the things that I was doing, I was like, I feel so good. I could literally measure my mood.
Wow.
I felt so phenomenal. And at the moment, I didn't quite link it to that.
Yeah.
But I just was proud of myself for having no screen time. Part of it, though, was I turned off those notifications and it did it on its own.
Yeah.
So if I needed to check my text, I'd have to sit down and go, has anyone texted me? Because I noticed with my notifications, whatever it was, Apple News, I would click on it. And before I knew it, I was automatically on Instagram. And I'm like, how did I get here?
It's true.
Okay. Because it's a habit. Turning those off made that happen. Well, last week, for whatever reason, I turned those notifications back on. We were doing something and I didn't want to miss getting notifications, so I turned it back on. Saturday of last week, I was feeling not myself. I was feeling really down. And I thought, oh, is it my hormones? I don't feel good. I'm moody. And I was having very dark thoughts that I don't normally have. And I know what triggered it. I had read something about children on social media, and it so burdened my heart, and I could not shake it.
Yeah.
And I would go to sleep at night worried about the plight of children and babies, having dark thoughts, waking up having dark thoughts, worried about children and babies. And I can normally throw that off, and okay, God, what do I do? And I'd start praying. My screen time popped up to let me know what my screen time was. Gabby, I was embarrassed.
Wow.
To see how much time I had been on my phone.
Yeah.
And it was because I'd spent a lot of time reading.
Yep.
Yes, I had a lot of work to do, but I wasn't going to my iPad or my laptop. I was just on my phone. And it's very different when you're on your iPad or laptop. You just, in an adult world, your kids don't have iPads and laptops. They're not checking emails.
No.
They're just on social media.
They're playing games or watching something
and YouTube and all those ads that pop up. I said that to say, I can absolutely connect the dots of not feeling really great emotionally.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say mentally.
No.
But emotionally, I could feel like a darkness. And when I saw that, I went, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah.
That's it. And I knew then that I had it back to back. I could link to having such a happy, glass half full, the world is shining, it's rainbow, not having those dark thoughts. I wasn't on this horrible
which you do nothing, by the way. You going on your phone, you're not helping babies.
Wow.
You're not helping them.
That's very true.
You're literally just learning about how they're hurting, or you're learning about the
do anything about it.
No, and I think if we can learn anything from the beginning of time, is that too much knowledge. There's a reason why God told Adam and Eve, stay away from the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
That's right.
Too much knowledge hurts us. It does not help us. No. It brought sin into the world.
That's it.
We don't need to know about all the news happening in the world. We don't need to know about the details of everything. We need to be more concerned about our 10-year-old daughters.
That's right.
The 10-year-old girls in our church and our community that are really going through it in their room at night or in their bathroom and searching and trying to find something, rather than what's happening in all these other places. And I'm not trying to be insensitive and say, oh, don't worry about what's happening in the world, but don't be that person that is so consumed with happening outside of the country and people need America and what's happening in politics and the campaigns and all of that. And your daughters are are having like a crisis.
The most important thing is your world, and that is your children.
And
they are your world.
And I would say this, because I love this topic that we're talking about with like makeup, because even a couple Wednesdays, I think the last 2 Wednesdays, I've hit this in the youth message. Like I've specifically talked about young girls in makeup. And my own process with makeup and like my own life with makeup, you could say, I've recently had to, this sounds very Christianese, but give it to God.
Yeah.
Because even I found myself so obsessed with getting the right products, getting the right brand. Should I choose Victoria Beckham or Tarte? Like, what am I doing? What's the best for my skin? And then I started going down skincare, and my skin doesn't look the way that I want it to look. And again, I see all of it. People don't even notice it, but I see it. And so I'm getting all these acne serums and under eye serums and scars. And I want to prevent wrinkling because I don't want to wrinkle. And so like can I tell you, I was spending so much of my money and time on these things that at the end of the day, don't add to my confidence, don't add to my self-worth,
value,
don't even make my personality better.
That's it.
They don't even help me or benefit anybody else. And I really had to put it aside. And yes, I'm not going to say I've never stepped into Sephora. I've been into Sephora more in this time of my life than I ever have been, because I'm trying to update, put good products on my face. But I'm not as obsessed.
Right.
And I don't walk in burdened like, I got to find the best thing in here. I use it for what it's made to be. It's just to enhance your life. It's just to make sure you're taking care of yourself. But if it starts to get past a certain point where it's unhealthy and you're idolizing it, and if you run out of that product, you're freaking out because you don't have that product, you got to really consider some stuff about yourself. And I'm saying that as a 24-year-old girl.
Right.
I've graduated college. I'm a full-time staff member at a church. And I struggle with the idol of makeup and identity.
So
your 10-year-old daughter is going to do the same and worse.
Or worse, because she's of a different generation.
Yeah.
Listen, my grandmother would say to us, you don't need to buy makeup. Let me show you. And I kid you not, Gabby, she would come over and she'd pinch our cheeks real hard.
Yeah.
And she would say, just pinch your lips real hard. Just pinch them, pinch them, pinch them. And there you go. There's your makeup. And I remember going, I have blush and look at my lips. And the truth is, that's the old school way of just feeling like you've got a little color in your face.
So they call it primp.
Yes.
Primp. Go to the bathroom and primp up, whatever.
And if I didn't have my favorite lipstick even an adult, I didn't care. I'd grab whatever I had and just make use. I put lipstick on my cheeks for blush.
Yes.
And now, okay, they sell something that's like $50. That's one stick for your eyes, your cheeks, and your lips. And I'm like, give me a break.
I know.
Give me.
I think we know a mom that said she forgot. I can't remember who this is, but there's a story. We got to wrap up soon. But there's a story of a mom that we know that she had no makeup in the car and she was on her way to a big event and she forgot her makeup bag and she looked in the back and all she had was crayons.
Oh, listen. Let me tell you something.
And she did a full face of makeup.
Red crayon and a black crayon. That's all you need.
That is all
I think crayons are in makeup anyway.
Honestly, the lipstick we're making, we should be more concerned about that than, well, that's funny.
I want to say something to the dads out there. I want to tell the dads, just say no. Keep saying no. You don't have to understand the world of makeup to just tell your daughters, not in my house. You are not wearing makeup. And moms, take the lead. Make sure that you are watching what your kids and your daughters are looking at, who they're around, and being too needy and having too many cares when they really just need to be little kids. But
true.
That's it for this episode of The Family Business with the Alessis. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please share and like this episode. Help us get the word out and go buy some of our family business merch. You can click on the link and it'll take you right to it and buy any of our merchandise. Please wear it. And thank you for listening to today's podcast.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and click on the notifications bell so you can be notified for all of our future videos. And if you loved today's topic, we have plenty more. And you can click on this link right here to watch all of our videos so you can learn why family is everybody's business.